We adjust and adapt to different environments and interactions with people often and don't even notice it. Here are top 5 signs that you've become a new person after interacting with a narcissist. Number 1, you silence your voice. Narcissists thrive in confusion, so they like to make you feel scatterbrained or talk over you, get their point across before you had an opportunity to speak up for yourself. And a lot of times you get accustomed to them over talking you, just bombarding the conversation to where you don't want to even be confrontational and you become submissive and you stop speaking up for yourself. This can show up in jobs, this can show up in relationships, but you get accustomed to them taking control of the conversation that you just get comfortable with not voicing how you truly feel. Number 2, you don't trust your own opinion. A lot of times you will be confident and show up a certain way and feel assertive when it comes to making certain decisions, but after you have a conversation with them, they may make you second guess certain things because they don't want you to remain confident and make your own decisions, because then they no longer have control. So then you go from being in a space where you're assertive to feeling like you always have to call people or check in with friends or just seek validation to confirm you're feeling how you're feeling. You no longer trust your own intuition or your gut because you're constantly being combated with somebody telling you, "You sure? I don't think that's a good idea." It's just always a constant pushback whenever you come to them with any type of conversation. Number 3, you overextend yourself. Narcissists typically like to feel like the dominant in a relationship. You have to work in order to be a part of their life. So you find yourself trying to prove yourself or just showing up in ways that you could do more because you think that you need to do in order to receive love. And in reality, if people like you, they're just going to accept you for you. You don't have to do any extra things, or you don't have to go out your way to try to convince anybody. If you find yourself in a position where you're trying to convince people to like you or convince people to be there for you, at that point, you can basically tell that they really just don't care about you, because people who actually love you and people who want to be around you value your essence in their life. So you won't have to try to convince them to be with you or to spend time with you. That's a narcissistic trait. Number 4, you show up small. That narcissist wants to dominate the room, just have all the attention and the spotlight be on them, because if the spotlight gets on somebody else, they feel insecure or they feel like they no longer have control. So you got used to them taking the main floor all the time. You start playing the background. You don't necessarily want to come off as too much, or you don't want to try to stand in your power the way you're meant to, because you're accustomed to them being the center of attention. Or when you are in position to show up your full self, they dim your light. They talk about you or they make you feel bad, make you second guess your opinion. So you naturally get accustomed to just showing up small. Number 5, you sacrifice yourself. You no longer value your own feelings or prioritize what's important to you. You're so focused on making sure you do what they need you to do because they've manipulated you or they've brainwashed you into feeling like you have to be in their world and do what they need you to do, that you stop prioritizing yourself and showing up as the main character in your own world. In a relationship with a narcissist, they typically make you feel like you're just the actor in their situation. So now you're not making sure you have what you need. You're not vocalizing that you get the things that you want. You're just showing up and doing exactly what they want you to do. And it goes undetected so often because some people experience this from childhood. They may have had narcissistic parents. Some people experience this later in life when they get narcissistic relationships. Some people experience this with friendships. And it's just like, oh, well, that's just how they are, or it's no big deal. You get accustomed to doing it because you've been around them for so long, or you've interacted with them throughout so many different occasions that it becomes normal. But in reality, you weren't always like that. You didn't become guarded until you were exposed to that abuse from that narcissist. So it's really important that you start paying attention to the way that you act and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Do I feel comfortable? Pay attention to our body and pay attention to different emotions that come up at different times, because those emotions are signaling to you that you're uncomfortable. Your body naturally wants to be comfortable in certain environments. So we find ourselves doing certain things just to make us feel safe. That's how you build a relationship with yourself and develop that trust within yourself, get a deeper level of understanding, because those emotions that's coming up, they're signaling to you, hey, this is making you scared. This is making you apprehensive. This is making you second guess yourself. Start asking yourself, why am I feeling like this? getting to the root of it. For me, it took me to sit back and review different situations and scenarios that I was in and be like, oh, that person was being a little shady, or that person was trying to take the spotlight, or that person wasn't necessarily supportive. But in reality, it's because they were narcissistic, and they may not even be aware to the extent of how they're showing up in your relationship. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you prioritize your own feelings and put you first and check in with yourself and acknowledge how you're feeling. It's your girl, Chloe Brianna. I'm the creator of Assertive Love. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and comment. I'll be back with another video.